It is alleged that Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has said that the way Somaliland was recognized, so Biafra land will be recognized so very soon.
Yes, Biafra land will be recognized very soon, according to Benjamin Netanyahu, just like the way the Israeli Prime Minister, under his watch, Somaliland was recognized. From what we are hearing, they have agreed on the recognition of Somaliland 2 years after it was made public by Benjamin Netanyahu. And it was very strategic for Israel to have done that, and that is what is expected when there's going to be a public pronouncement of Israeli Prime Minister to the recognition of Biafra, which is just very, very few steps ahead, as the Knesset Parliament continue to work out modalities with other interested international communities, nations who are also involved. It tells you that it is going to be a big one and a very big move in that regard. You do not be surprised why other countries like Sweden is responding to the recognition of Biafra. I'm talking about Sweden. Sweden today, is responding, making a deep statement about the coming of Biafra at the end of the day. Yes, but let us center on what Israel are trying to do now. Now that it has become very clear that Donald Trump has, made 360 degrees U-turn. And this is what the Israeli Prime Minister was warning before now, that Iran can never be trusted with whatever negotiation that is going on. They can never be trusted. But America, as at that time, decided, Benjamin came out and told Donald Trump very clearly that, if Israel is forced to stand alone, Israel will stand alone. That's to tell you that when Israel is going to pronounce publicly the recognition of Biafra, the American government will not have any choice. But that is what it is at the moment. And Nigeria should understand the reason why America and Israel, redeployed, or evacuated their troops from Nigeria, or moved their troops from the soil of Nigeria. Can anybody answer that question? Can Nigerian government come out and tell the whole world why US withdraw their troops from Nigeria? What it means is that, they are done with Nigeria. I am done with Nigeria. Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump declares. I am done with Nigeria. Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump declares. I repeat, I am done with Nigeria. Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump declares. And that is the end of this entity called Nigeria. And with that withdrawal, I'm going to let you know that the Russian government has already indicated interest, to make Biafra the headquarters of Russia, Federation of Embassy in the entire Africa, the headquarters of Russian Federation Embassy in Biafran land, in the whole of Africa. What it means that, Biafra now will be having international headquarters that represent Africa. That's what and the world they're shaping it, they're mapping strategies out in that regard. And that is why the American Donald Trump has removed his hand from anything concerning Nigeria. When you see Rally Moore coming out in the public to say they are just monitoring, Nigerian election, it's just formalities, what they have concluded on what they do. And when they say they are done with Nigeria, they are, especially Benjamin Netanyahu, what it means is that, when Biafra will be recognized by Israel will not, the United States of America will not have any option.
A lot of people are asking, what is the case with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Is he actually going to be released very soon? Because we hear that some of his appeals has been received in court.
There's going to be a serious battle to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu factor because there's a lot of anxiety in Sokoto prison. I pray that it will not result to bad news, even though we are hearing that Peter Obi's life, an Igbo man, is being threatened also because of his political ambition in Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life is also being reported to be facing serious challenges now in Sokoto prison or wherever he is now, because we are expecting that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be able to make an official statement having won the appeal court, having enjoyed the appeal court victory concerning his death. But Nigeria is a nation, it's a jungle that anything can be reversed at any point in time, anything can change at any point in time, and that is the message. Now remember, before now, the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Michael Freeman, was in a closed-door meeting with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even though it's been reported that the essence of that meeting is not connected, is unconnected with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release and the way forward for Biafra recognition. We are not talking about Biafra is already a nation, and I can tell you that what we are seeking is recognition. That must be understood and understood very well, And in that regard, now we are hearing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing health challenges, and he has no other option than to accept federal government medical care, which is being seen to be very dangerous. Unfortunately, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not die in Sokoto prison. I pray that God protects him. You can see all manner of crises surrounding his leadership currently now. But do not mind anybody about what anybody is saying about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, all the rubbish they have been saying about the IPOB leader. No, we are not interested. It cannot be Kanu, and Kanu cannot be these unfortunate shadow demons that call themselves ex-DOS. This is not 1967. The spirit of Ifajuna that has engulfed, that has possessed all these people. The way of Ifajuna shall be on a case. Do not forget that Biafra is not about materialism. All these guys they are talking about today, we are appointed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They took oath under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So what is the propaganda all about? So the way of Ifajuna will be their way, and it's not a joke, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if he's not committed, he won't be in Sokoto prison today.
Finally, a lot of people are saying Bianca Odumegwu Ojukwu is working against the recognition of Biafra. How true is this?
I don't know what you mean by that, but there are signs, because he's already involved in the administration of the APC government, and we have seen on several occasions he also was involved in Simon Ekpa's case, which we are expecting that Simon Ekpa by next month, August, his appeal, is coming up, and I pray that the Finnish government will do the needful and release him, as soon as possible. Then Bianca Ojukwu, that is her business. We don't know. She's no longer relevant in the scheme of things, concerning the legacies of his husband. Nobody respects her, but let her play her own role and get away. If that money is a problem, so be it. But I can tell you that Nigerian and Biafra are two different things. Anybody that's working for Nigeria, is working for Nigeria for himself. The majority of Biafrans all over the world, are seeking self-determination, and it is their right and the privilege, irrespective of whatever anybody says about it. If you ask Bianca Ojukwu, behind the scene, he will not tell you that he rejects Biafra completely, but you have no option, because Biafra has not actually come, and that is why we cannot be able to place her on the radar and find out what she actually means. But as it stands now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the symbol of the struggle. You cannot take it away from me. It's the symbol of 85 million Igbos around the world. And if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in dungeon or in prison today, it tells you that the consciousness of Biafrans all over the world are in bondage. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is set free, then we know what it means to every Biafran and all the struggle for Biafran, recognition. That's what we are talking about today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has left a legacy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has achieved a lot in terms of Biafran struggle. So with what we are hearing today, and with the global attention to the Biafran struggle, a lot of things is definitely going to play out very soon. Thank you.